If you're looking for a podcast dedicated to real estate investing, personal finance, and how to navigate these uncertain financial times, you've came to the right place. Building credit, investing for your future, buying first home, starting a business. These are all goals that we want to achieve. Can it be intimidating at times? Oh, absolutely. The Perkins Group podcast is here to educate, help you understand, and craft your game plan for a fulfilling financial future. Without further ado, guys, let's get this thing rolling. Okay, guys, welcome back. Episode 4 of the Perkins Group podcast is live from, of course, the North Shore of Big Spirit Lake, Iowa. And as always, I am your host, Jeff Perkins. If you like these podcast episodes, you have recommendations or comments, please feel free to share anything and everything with all of your friends. And of course, wherever you get your podcast, guys, whether it be Apple, Google Play, or whatever platform it may be, please share the show, subscribe to us, and of course, rate 5 stars. Today's episode is going to be about how do I actually find rental properties? So in the last few episodes, of course, I talked about one, how do I actually underwrite rental properties from a dollars and cents standpoint to actually make sense of when I'm buying a property? And then, of course, in the episode before that, I talked about how did I actually start my LLC? How did I lay the groundwork for this business to actually get the things put into motion to start buying properties? And of course, collecting cash flow on those properties. So what we're going to talk about today, guys, is what different avenues do I actually find the best deals? What avenues make sense to find deals? And not every time, guys, you're going to find all of these best deals on what you would normally expect as like a Zillow.com, a Redfin, or a Realtor.com. So if you're looking for the best deals that are going to have the highest amount of cash flow available, the best financing structure, and even the best overall ROI when it comes to owning the property as a whole, not all these types of deals are going to be available on just a basic MLS search or, like, for a lack of a better word, those big box type website platforms such as that Zillow, Realtor, or that Redfin.com. But with that being said, guys, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of the content for the show today. And I'm going to go through a couple of the different examples where I look to find some of the best real estate deals on the market today. So the first avenue, guys, that I'm going to look at when I try to find good rental property deals is pretty much the most basic route that you're going to go when you look to buy a house. And that is, of course, going through your realtor, getting an MLS search set up by that said realtor, and then actually filtering through the properties that are going to make the most sense to you. Now, when it comes to a real estate investor's standpoint of finding properties, I highly recommend tailoring your real estate advisor needs towards a realtor that has actually had that experiences in the past. They know what they're looking for with rental properties and kind of what your needs are. I got really lucky. One of the realtors I worked with in Des Moines when I was scouting out properties, they had owned rental properties in the past. So they had a really good understanding of the ideas and the things that were needed from a cash flow standpoint, what the ROI on the property was potentially going to be, and also what other kind of value adds could I make to the property that would increase my equity position at that point in time. So I highly recommend, guys, when you're, first starting off, going through a realtor, if you're going to look to buy a primary residence, something that's going to be a forever home versus an investment property that, of course, you're hoping is going to make you money, it's really important to tailor the realtor that you use towards what your needs are when you go to your property. So the second important thing, guys, that I looked for when I was actually scouting out for properties, and a second really, really good resource that's going to be available at your disposal, is going to be social media. When I talk about social media, of course, I'm talking about Facebook Marketplace. Some of the best deals that you're going to find are going to be on some of those marketplace type things, such as, like I said, a Facebook Marketplace or a Craigslist. Because actually, in my experience, the third rental property that I ended up buying, I actually found a for sale by owner home. And a lot of these for sale by owner homes, there's not going to be a lot of that on the MLS search. Most of those are going to be off-market type platforms like a Facebook. It's a pretty simple process, guys. If that is the route you end up going to buy it, essentially message the guy on Facebook, said, hey, I'm interested in your rental property. Can I set up a time to go meet them? And of course, from there, you're actually talking to the owner of the property. I got lucky when I bought that one because he also ran a handyman business on the side. So he's very capable of taking care of the property and fixing many things. And then, of course, if you go to that standpoint where you're going to end up buying something for sale by owner on a Facebook or a Craigslist, just make sure you have a really good lawyer in place because, of course, they're going to help you write up the purchase agreement. They're going to help you write up all of the things in those agreements, such as, a sewer line check a home inspection, all the things that are going to help protect you. And really on the back end of it, if you find something that you don't need to go through a realtor for, that could in turn maybe save you some money on the backside too. Now, I say this, I have nothing against realtors. I've worked with some great ones and I think they're very, very valuable. But if you are able to scout out a property on your own, it's going to save you a little bit of money. That's just going to be one of those benefits of kind of doing the due diligence yourself and then just going through that process with your lawyer to get that property purchased. The third and last resource that I aim for, and in my opinion, this is going to be the most valuable one to you as a real estate investor. If you really want to find the best deal for, of course, the best ROI, the best cash flow, all of those sorts of numbers and all of those sorts of investment returns that any good real estate investor is going to look for. And that is through networking and Facebook groups and all sorts of meetup groups. So in my example, guys, what I ended up doing is I joined a Facebook group in Des Moines. It was Des Moines Real Estate Investors. Super good community of people. One, that forum talks a lot about how do you deal with a lot of the legal issues? How do people work through those situations? Recommendations for lawyers? How do you work through maintenance issues and any tenant types of things? All of the stuff that goes into being a landlord and a real estate investor. That was a super good platform for me to help further my education and my business and hopefully grow it moving forward. What I ended up doing though, which is really cool, is I went to one of these real estate investor meetup groups in Des Moines, and it was a really cool, like-minded community of people that had all of the same interests of how they manage their properties, how do they find the best deals. And then from there, what was really cool is I actually got put together in a mailing list group. So every couple weeks or so, this mailing group who do wholesale properties, they do fix and flips. Maybe they had a renovation on a house that they just didn't have the capital or maybe the time and effort to actually finish. A lot of these people would send out emails to this group and they'd say, hey, I got a property for sale. I'm looking to offload it. Here's kind of what's been done. Here's some pictures. Set us up anytime if you want to go meet to actually look at the property. A lot of it was the for sale by owner type model. But the really cool thing was too, is a lot of these people that were selling these properties, guys, and this is where I think a lot of the returns are going to be really amplified. And then especially in a time like 2024, interest rates are really high. Home affordability is not all that great as compared to a 2020, 2021, 2022. There's actually a lot of people selling properties that actually had assumable loans on them. So essentially what assumable loan is what they would do is do a seller financing concept. And through that seller financing, say I'm the buyer, I would give them an upfront down payment to actually purchase the home. With the assumable loan, I would actually take on their loan. And so if you got somebody who maybe refinanced the property in 2021 to like a 2.75 or a 3% interest rate, you could take on that debt, which would give you a lower monthly payment. And then of course, with that lower monthly payment, less principal and interest, you're going to have a little bit better opportunity to earn more cash flow. But with that being said, guys, short little episode number 4 for the Perkins Group podcast. We are really enjoying all of these episodes, and I am really enjoying all of the positive feedback, all of the positive support from all of you valued listeners. As always, guys, as you listen to the show, if you have any comments, concerns, or feedback, there's a couple ways you can check us out. The first one is our website, www.perkinsgroup.llc. You can check us out on social media on our Facebook page, at Instagram, at the Perkins Group LLC. And of course, guys, where you get your podcasts, however you may listen and whenever you may listen, please check us out, share all of these episodes with your friends. And of course, guys, subscribe to the show and rate 5 stars. With that being said, guys, we do appreciate your support. Looking forward to catching you on the next episode. And once again, thank you, and we will talk to you soon. Hey guys, if you're still listening up to this point, you guessed it. That's the end of the episode. If you have any questions, comments, future podcast recommendations, or even just want to leave a message, please check us out on Instagram at the Perkins Group LLC or on our website, www.perkinsgroup.llc. As always, we appreciate your support and please subscribe to the show on whichever platform you get your podcast from.